This is Watcher 3 to Cypher 9. Things are a little chaotic without Keeper, so I need a minute to pull our files on Voss. In the meantime, I did want someone more familiar, but...
Apologies for the wait. Playing catch-up with our friends in the diplomatic service, but we think we can brief you.
I didn't realize we had an expert on board.
The diplomatic service has more experience with Voss than anyone. Certainly more than me.
We never served on Voss personally. It's a newly discovered world, home to a simple humanoid civilization. One species, one government, one city. Voss Ka.
Primitive. They didn't even have spaceflight when we made first contact.
But they have art and laws and culture. More importantly, they have citizens who can use the Force. Not Jedi or Sith, but something different.
What do they have to do with the Star Cabal?
I'll get to that. Keep going, Vector.
The Voss Force sensitives are called mystics. They're healers and fortune-tellers, utterly revered and considered infallible. We want the Voss and the mystics to ally with the Empire. The Republic is petitioning them too, yet they remain stubbornly neutral.
Of course, half the galaxy has spies there. Who wouldn't? Keeper's files clearly indicate conspirator involvement, but no names or details. All I've got are instructions for a meet.
Do we know anything about this meet?
There's a tea house in Voskar proper. You're supposed to wait for a contact. He'll identify himself with the phrase, anew as the spring. I don't know who he is, or whether Keeper told him about the Star Cabal, but he'll know more than I do.
Assuming he's in one piece.
Assuming that, Watcher 3 out.
We'll await your instructions.
Come in, outsider. You seek the alien enclave. The way isn't always clear.
Anaton, tea for the guest.
Which tea?
All of them, until he finds one that suits him. I am Bastan. This is my tea house. Forgive my daughter. We should start anew as the spring.
The Empire has some questions for you.
I'm aware of that. When tea is ready, host the others. This man is a friend of a good friend. I will share his time.
Your perspiration increases. You recognize an unknown and respond with instinctive fear.
Don't worry. The family won't bother us, and no one else suspects. Living with these creatures for 5 years earns some credibility.
5 years running a tea house is a cushy job for an operative, even with the dress code.
Not a dress code. Surgical alterations so I could replace the real Bastan. Raise his children. Kiss his wife. I don't care how exotic they look. Their breath always smells like Minok dung. It's some spice in the blasted food.
Maybe Bastan needs to retire.
Don't get me wrong. I'm here to serve the Empire. My orders were to find you a lead on Albathius, a human who showed up a few years ago. Voss called him the Shining Man. Where he came from is a mystery, but it only took him 5 weeks to go from outsider to practically Voss. Went through a dozen rites to earn their respect. Knew their culture inside and out. Knew their politics. Textbook infiltration. Impossibly perfect.
Let me guess. No background, no known associates, makes records disappear?
You couldn't find a vid of him arriving on the planet, and you saw what security is like. Anyway, just when it seems the Voss can't love him anymore, he dies in his sleep. Buried with honors, mourned like one of them. No one's touched the case much since, so if you want to learn what the Shining Man was up to, you've got a nasty job. Start with the tomb.
I came here to unearth a conspiracy, not a corpse.
All I know is our bosses think this is important. Whoever ran the Shining Man is a group to watch out for. Tombs at the base of the mountain, holiest place a non-Voss can be interred. Predators keep the area clear these days. If you want to go in as a pilgrim, I've left clothes and instructions at a dead drop. Give me a call once you're in.
Third Ton returns at sunset.
Our family must prepare a welcome. We will speak again. You're holding a Voss outfit, part of the pilgrim's ritual to the Shining Man's tomb. Best way to avoid drawing unwanted attention. Tradition says the pilgrim's supposed to collect ceremonial offerings from the Seeker's path. That'll be your first stop. Then the tomb itself. Just watch out for the subhumans. The Voss call them Gormak, but all you need to know is that they're vermin with blasters.
In 1,000 years, this tomb will be broken stone. You will be dead. Natural monuments are failures.
Bastan, I'm in position. Nothing in the sarcophagus but dust and a scroll.
Dust? No way the body decayed that fast on its own. Send me a high-res image and bring the scroll back. Dust sample too. We'll see what analysis turns up.
I'll head back to the tea house.
I'll save a seat for you.
You return. Father, your friend.
Come share our meal. My brother Third Ton is with us. We celebrate.
You could tell me of your time on Voss.
I'll pass on dinner. Tell me when you're ready to work.
I don't understand.
He is a friend. He is an outsider. I can't get out of this. Stop by in an hour. They'll be gone. Sorry about that. Now the tomb. I'll send the ashes for analysis, but I'm more interested in the scroll. It's sort of an epitaph. Calls the Shining Man a man of prophecy, who was made whole in the wellspring of the Shrine of Healing.
Not exactly directions to his employers, but it's a start. What do you think?
The Mystics have a whole library of prophecies. The rest of the Voss revere the Mystics because their prophecies are always right. If the Mystics prophesied the Shining Man's arrival, it would explain why the Voss accepted him so easily. It's awfully convenient, though.
Made whole in the wellspring of the Shrine of Healing. What does that part mean?
The Shrine of Healing is a mystic sanctuary where people go to be cured. The sick and dying, or the spiritually wounded. Only a handful of pilgrims manage to complete the trek each year. I'd guess if the Shining Man was there, it wasn't for spiritual reasons.
I've faced Jedi and Sith. I'm not afraid of their primitive cousins.
Primitive, not stupid. Don't underestimate the Mystics. There's a pilgrimage camp not too far from Voss. One of the guides there can help you reach the shrine and the wellspring. My advice, if you'll take it, play by the Mystics' rules. It's not wise to defy the order of things.
You have faced the trials, outsider, but the wellspring is for the broken.
After what I went through, you want to stop me now?
The Mystics tend the wellspring. The Mystics make bodies and minds whole. I disturb them for nothing less.
Maybe I wasn't clear. Tell me about the Shining Man's visit to the wellspring, or even the Mystics won't be able to heal you.
I will stop any witnesses.
I know the Shining Man. I did not know he came here. The Mystics never speak of past work. Wellspring history is preserved in the Vitalocrons. Memory of each petitioner, technologically stored.
The Shining Man had one too.
Yes, I will show you. Each genetically locked by the petitioner who created it. Only its creator may examine the past. I know nothing else.
Thank you for your time.
You resort to murder so quickly. It would be easy to manipulate that instinct.
Bastan, I found a record of the Shining Man's visit to the shrine. but it's genetically locked.
Good thing you went tomb robbing. Sending the genetic workup on the Shining Man's ashes now. My contacts didn't find any identity matches, by the way. No evidence he existed before Voss.
Now's not a good time to report. I'm in a mystic vault. Attempting to unlock the Vitalicron now. Looping you in on the audio feed.
Interface activated. Warning, the memory is corrupted. Came to us from the Nightmare Lands. You knew our ways. You bore a scroll. I remember so little. What did the scroll say? A prophecy from the Chamber of Ashes. It had been lost to us. Die! Go back to the Nightmare Lands. I'm grateful for your trust, but I must leave soon for Voskar. Trust does not matter. The prophecy you found speaks of you. You are healed. You are the Shining Man.
Huh. Doesn't tell us why the Shining Man was sent here, but now we know how he conned the Voss.
I expected the Shining Man to be a little more impressive.
Maybe he's not lying about coming from the Nightmare Lands. The Nightmare Lands are forbidden to the Voss. Legend says the ruins drive people insane, and our scouts come back in parts. Old ruins might be the only place he could find materials to fake a scroll of prophecy. But there's nowhere worse on the planet.
I'm tired of Voss legends getting in the way of my work. I'm going.
Then I'll dig up what I can, but we've got some prep work to do. Meet me back at the tea house. Bastan out.
You believe in the Commandos?
I believe in my father's judgment. Outsider, there's something you must see.
I'm not interested. Where's your father?
This came to us. It speaks to you.
Hello, Agent. Hope you get this in time, because your friend Bastan doesn't have long. He's safe for now, but you know the drill. This stays between us. You want him back? Come to these coordinates. It's out in the Gormak lands, but that shouldn't be a problem for you.
We do not know him. The message came when Bastan went into the city.
I need to go. Breathe a word to your commandos, and Bastan isn't the only one who will suffer.
I've never rescued anyone. I will pay attention.